game held in Chicago, we get to face Wisconsin. And this is a huge game, right? It's held at Marshall Field. That's where Stag plays his home games. And over 20,000 people pack in for a record crowd. And one of the strange outcomes of this game is they put up temporary stands to support this big crowd, and they collapse in the first half. An illegal mess ensues, and it lingers. But Michigan wins the game 6-0 with a suffocating defense over Wisconsin. So now we kind of get over the hump of, Wisconsin. We also take down Minnesota 23-6 at home. And once again, like the Carlisle game, where we said, hey, maybe we're on par with these Eastern schools. Michigan's starting to get noticed in the East. And there's this letter in the Daily where someone from Pennsylvania, namely Pittsburgh, shares some letters about them talking about Michigan. He really gets into, this writer, how important football can be when you're kind of putting us on par with the Harvards and with, the other big schools. Football is really part of that story. And you're starting to feel that, and Michigan's starting to feel that. That brings us to 1903. Back in Chicago, a huge recruiting battle is raging. Enter maybe the biggest recruiting star of this generation, a guy named Walter Eckersall. And he is from Hyde Park, which is right in the shadows of the University of Chicago. And he plays multiple sports, and he absolutely can't miss.
He is a quarterback in football and a crack shortstop, just a superstar athlete. He ran the 100 yards in 10 seconds flat, which was the Chicago schoolboy record for something like 20, 25 years. He was an amazing athlete, and he wasn't just athletic. He had bravado. He had leadership. He was just the ultimate athlete.
He's an undisputed 5-star, you might say today, right? And he's heavily coveted by Michigan and Chicago, of course. And Yost particularly wants him because he's his perfect quarterback. Boss Weeks finished in 1902 his career at Michigan, and Yost wants that new guy. And they're going after this kid all the way up to when the season starts.
Michigan and Chicago alumni are fighting tooth and they're pulling on an arm, figuratively, for an entire year. There's newspaper stories in Detroit and Chicago from fall 1902 until the fall 1903 of where this guy might end up. Everybody else, meanwhile, is trying to get him. Wisconsin wanted him, Illinois, Northwestern. University of Illinois apparently offered him full deal. Come on here, we'll take care of you. Before his senior year in high school. That's how crazy recruiting was back then.
After a series of secret meetings laced with quiet and, yes, forbidden inducements, he's decided to flip his commitment from the Chicago Maroons and become a Wolverine. But in this moment, Yost is north. His men are 240 miles north in a Lake Michigan coast town called Ludington in preseason camp. And we're trying to get him on a train to join the team in preseason camp in Ludington. And from what we hear, Stag, who, again, publicly, kind of espouses himself as this great, fair guy who espouses the great words of amateurism. That's who Stag is, right? The purity of the game and, the highest integrity. But we know that Chicago offered him free tuition. There were no scholarships back then, so that's illegal. Room and board, actually going to pay him and promise, like a lot of people did back then, a job after you're done. You can stick around and coach, right? That's an easy thing they can offer. All illegal at the time. Michigan basically matches the offer, ups the money, but Michigan offers them entrance into our prestigious engineering school, which Chicago does not have, and they give them a train ticket, and they want them to head to Ludington.